Oh boy, oh boy. Welcome all. And tonight, oh my god, I gotta say, I am quite nervous tonight, quite anxious. Apparently, Juan Soto, Mr. Juan Soto, will or should be making a decision tonight, should be making a decision. According to Mike Puma, according to Andy Martino on Sunday, December 8th, a decision apparently is imminent. Is imminent. Well, I'm going to take you through some details. I'm going to take you through some facts. Um, I've been looking at the betting markets. I've been looking at all the prognosticators, and it has been going off the wall, off the wall. I'm going to give you the latest updates on where Juan Soto to the Mets, to the Yankees, where that stands as of now. As of now, where do all the professional gamblers, betting experts, where do they think? What about the MLB experts? Let's see what they say as well. But let me start off like this. On Friday, I got supposedly from an MLB insider saying that a decision would be made either Sunday or Monday. Didn't say a team, just said a decision would be made. I don't know. Does that mean the Yankees? Does that mean the Yankees or the Mets are putting a deadline tonight or tomorrow? Because I'm thinking tonight, if a decision is imminent, why is it imminent? The prices are going higher and higher and higher and higher. If I'm Scott Boras and if I'm Juan Soto, why not make this go 2 or 3 more days? Because apparently, according the last report that just came out about 20 minutes ago from Bill Madden, and I cannot believe this. Bill Madden says Yankees deserve credit for apparently going well beyond their comfort zone. 750 to 760 million for Soto. But word now is that Cohen is going to $800 million. Bill Madden is a very respectable, longtime journalist. He was the most latest. That is the latest tweet that I've seen. If anybody sees any latest news, please let me know. But from what I hear, that is the latest news, and that is damn significant. And folks, I know you're probably like, well, the Yankees are at 760. 800 million is the magic number, folks. If Juan Soto accepts a number at 800, 800 million is different than 780. It's different than 770. 800 million is the next barrier, the next milestone, $800 million contract. So if Steve Cohen is offering, even though it's only $40, $50 million more, he took it to the next level. Okay, so once that offer or supposed offer was made, and once it was conveyed, all of the markets, poly markets specifically, put the Mets' chances at 9 o'clock this evening. The Mets had a 40% chance to get Juan Soto. 40% chance. The Yankees had a 37. In the last 15 minutes, now the Mets have a 62% chance and the Yankees have a 34% chance. So the experts right now, based on all the latest information, put the New York Mets clearly in the driver's seat. And you know what? I can actually share that info with you. If you're curious, where the heck am I getting this data from? Why not share it? Okay, so this here is, if you can see that, this is where we currently stand. This is the time. The red line is the New York Yankees. And, take this for what I know. People probably, this is not fact, but you know what? This is based on some experts' opinions. We have the New York Mets right now in the driver's seat. And in my opinion, with Steve Cohen doesn't seem like he's going to lose this. Does not seem like he is going to lose this. He is in it to win it. And, for all of you who saw that SNL skit last night, they kind of took a shot. They slapped the Mets in the face. They said if Juan Soto wants to go to basically a loser, he'll sign with the Mets. And this is what I'm talking about if you're the New York Mets organization. Signing Mr. Juan Soto isn't just going to help your team off the field. It's going to help your brand, your image off the field. Mr. Steve Cohen, you got to get this done. If you have the opportunity, don't look back. Get this deal done. If you are truly at $800 million, you know what? That already tells me this. That tells me, folks, money is not an issue because we know he's not worth $800 million. It is all about getting Juan Soto. So at this point, Steve Cohen, the Yankees have went well beyond the point everybody thought they were going to go. They are well out of their, targeted range. And that surprised me. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I am going to be dead honest with you. I did not believe once the Yankees put an offer of $710 million and the Mets were at $730, I did not believe they were going to go further. But according to Bill Madden, they made an offer of $750, $760. Once they made that offer and it was known by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock, from 7 to 9 tonight, everybody believed the Yankees were going to acquire Juan Soto. But Steve Cohen, according to Bill Madden, upped his offer into the $800 million range. That doesn't mean the Yankees aren't going to match it. But what it does mean is that Steve Cohen has shown the propensity and the ability to not stop, and to honestly not be logical, because this money right now is, to be honest, quite honest, it's insane. It's insane. It's not true value. Right now, Steve Cohen just knows how important acquiring Juan Soto is. All right, Daniel, yeah, $850 million. Honestly, if you're at 800 right now and 850 is what it takes to get it done, you have to get it done. If you're at a ridiculous level and you know how important it is, and folks, I'm trying to figure out what is the backup plan. If we don't get Juan Soto, what is the backup plan? And just so you know, if we don't get him, you know what? We don't get him. But I'm planning. I got celebrations. If we do get Juan Soto, it's going to be a party. It's going to be a party. If we don't, we still kind of celebrate because we're going to just go in another direction. We're not going to look back. We're going to proceed forward knowing that Steve Cohen did everything he could possibly do. The guy's at $800 million. He's at $800 million right now. So I hope that Steve Cohen is going to get this done. Hey, Music Man, great point, Music Man. It's not our money. It is not our money. Steve Cohen, get it done. Steve Cohen is probably sitting with his executives, David Stern, right now. They are talking how to secure this man. And aren't you wondering why is it imminent? Why? I feel that there is a deadline, an imposed deadline by the New York Yankees and by the Mets. I think one of those two teams said, if you don't make a decision by today, the deal's off the table. Because everybody had this a couple of days ago that Sunday, Monday was the day he was going to make a decision. Days ago. And if this is going to $800 million, like I keep repeating, why not if you're Scott Boras, and why not if you're Juan Soto? Hey, let's wait a couple more days. We could get to $1 billion. So I think the Yankees and the Mets have put a deadline on the table. That is my opinion. Let me say to everybody, hello in the chat. George, you're right, not worth $800 million. I want him on the Mets, but 800 is crazy. You're right. 800 is absurd. It is crazy. It is crazy. But it looks like that's what Steve Cohen and the New York Mets right now, that's what they want to do. That's what they have put all their eggs in the Juan Soto basket. And folks, if the Mets do get Juan Soto, I believe they're not going to stop. Just like if the Yankees get Juan Soto, I believe they're not going to stop. I believe that whoever gets Juan Soto is going to stick to their plan A and be ultra aggressive. And that is why I want the New York Mets to get Juan Soto, because I want the New York Mets to be ultra aggressive. If we get Juan Soto, I can see us making a trade for a Garrett Crochet. Why? Because we have a great team. Now we got a couple marquee franchise players, and we have the ability and the talent to win now. If we don't get Juan Soto, we're going to have to take a different road. Not a so-called worse road, but I don't think it's going to be as immediate. Mark Levine, you're 900 mil. You're up to 900 mil. Well, you know what? The way this is going, who knows? It's 9:56 Eastern Standard Time. By 11 o'clock, who the hell knows where this bidding is going to be up to? And that's why it's so damn exciting. And Music Man, you write a great point. I'm shocked the Yankees are at this level. And honestly, that's what I am shocked about. But in the same respect, the Yankees have learned one thing. The Yankees have always been about, hey, the player coming to the New York Yankees, take a discount. They wanted Aaron Judge to take a discount. They got LeMahieu years ago to take a discount. They always want their players to take a discount. Obviously, Judge, the big discount. Juan Soto, not going to take a discount. The Yankees have recognized, okay, this guy, he's not going to give the Yankee discount. Doesn't matter about a legacy. Doesn't matter about the rings. Cashman, Hal Steinbrenner, give the guy credit. He recognized this guy's not going to take a discount. Jack Curry reported this last Wednesday or last Tuesday, said the Yankees will go to over $700 million. So, and he actually specifically stated around $710 million. That is why in these last couple of days, I said to myself, if Steve Cohen goes to $750, he's going to top the high offer of the Yankees. I always felt the high offer of the Yankees will be $710, but the Yankees have exceeded that. Apparently, their high offer, according to Bill Madden, is $760. Mets currently, I repeat, currently at $800 million and counting. And folks, even though the Mets are at $800 million, that's not even to say that's their final offer. That's not even their final offer. So let's strap in and see where the heck this thing lands. And hopefully everybody's doing great. Joey, I see you in there in the chat tonight. Hopefully you're having a great night. Joey is our resident Yankee fan. Great guy. Welcome. We love Joey in here. William, hey, Uncle Stevie, get it done. I have confidence. Uncle Stevie. Mark Levine, what is up, buddy? Hopefully all is well. Scott Wilson, another friend. You're right. I'm blown away, and my hat's off to both owners. As for Cohen, damn, this is freaking exciting. All logical business sense has gone out the window. If we get him, go all in. Burns, Pete, Mania. You know what? That's honestly, Scott, your point, I really take wholeheartedly, because I think if we do get him, I think we're going to go aggressive. I think we are most certainly going aggressive. 2025, we're already earmarked for a World Series. But if we have Juan Soto and we are paying $800 million and we are paying $341 million to Francisco Lindor, that money to Nimmo, everybody right now is in their prime. We are going pedal to the metal. The next couple starting pitchers, I expect to be upper echelon starting pitchers. I expect us to throw money at Corbin Burns. Although I've heard the Mets aren't going in that direction, this is what I expect if they get Juan Soto. So, John, you're right. Is Soto going to sign tonight? And that is the question. That is the question all of us right now are kind of asking. Is Soto going to sign tonight? Now, the reason why everybody is clamoring, everybody is, around the computers, they're looking at their phones, they're YouTubing this and that, looking at X. The reason why is because Andy Martino, Mike Puma, put a story out a little short time ago saying that a signing is imminent, and mark that tonight a signing potentially could happen. Doesn't mean it will happen, but you see from Mike Puma, when you see action, a lot of times when you see action and updated information, that usually means that a deal could be closed. I remember with the Trevor Bauer sweepstakes, you heard numbers going up, you heard the Mets going up, you heard the Dodgers going up, and then you heard a decision being made. And then you heard the same thing, Springer a couple years ago. Springer, I remember the Mets were going back and forth with the Blue Jays, and then a decision was made. Right now, again, you hear that the Mets have upped their offer to $800 million. And I expect a decision to be made. I think there's a deadline. It's not confirmed, but I think there is a deadline. I think one of the teams, whether it's the Mets or the Yankees, have said they need an answer by the winter meetings. As we know, the winter meetings are starting, and I think this is a deadline set by either Steve Cohen or set by Hal Steinbrenner that, hey, you got to make a decision by the winter meetings, and that is why I think it is all culminating in tonight. Plus, I've said this a couple of times in our past streams that from other MLB insiders, they said days ago that a decision would be made on Sunday or Monday. And, days ago, I was like, why would it be Sunday or Monday? But many, inside people are saying Sunday, Monday. I don't know what they know, where they know it for. But when all arrows are pointing to today, and now you hear the report by Andy Martino and Mike Puma that a signing is imminent, now you got all these people in the industry thinking the same thing. And that is why I think where there's smoke, there could be fire. And that is why I'm waiting. Music man, I apologize. I think I accidentally deleted your comment. I meant to pin it, but I was trying to. So I don't know if you saw that, but I apologize. You're asking, you think Alonso is definite? The funny thing is, if 5 o'clock, if you were a Mets fan at 5 o'clock in the evening, I was getting nervous. I was getting nervous because you were seeing a lot of negative reports. You were seeing that the Yankees, they're going to 7:30. You were seeing that actually there were reports that Alonso was going to sign with an AL East team or an AL team. I don't know if it AL East, but then I'm like, why is this all this negative information coming out? But there's been a lot of use of the media by Boris's camp. I felt that was at 5 o'clock. You have a negative Pete Alonso story. Then you have that the Yankees are, jacking up their price for Soto. That was more pressure on the Mets. Hey, you got to push your offer. Now you could be losing Alonso and you could be losing Soto. So do I believe Alonso to the Mets is a possibility? I think it's a strong possibility because of this one reason. Alonso has said that whatever offer he gets, he's going to give the New York Mets a chance to match that offer. So regardless of the articles, regardless of the mumbo jumbo, I think the New York Mets stand a great chance of getting Alonso back if they want him. And with Willy Adames off the table, without the potential of moving Mark Vientos to first base, I don't think the Mets were ever interested really in Alex Bregman. I really don't. So I think if Willy Adames was not on the table and he's not on the table anymore, I so wholeheartedly believe that their next best option is going to be Mr. Pete Alonso. In fact, and I forgot who said this. It was I forgot. Somebody sent me a video of Pete Alonso because I always said last year in the middle of 2023, Pete Alonso, he was hit on the hand. He was hit on the hand. I forgot who hit him on the hand. It was against the Braves. And he was out for a couple of days. It was actually, he was supposed to be out for a couple of weeks. And he came back early. And that was the June last year where the Mets stunk. And Pete Alonso, the first 2 months, April, May, beginning of June, he was on fire. He was almost set to hit 60 home runs. After that, in 2023, he was a shell of himself. Then in 2024, you saw that he had a less than, Pete Alonso year. Folks, I think that after Pete hurt himself, I think his mechanics got all screwy. And it was never fixed. My estimation is it's going to get fixed this offseason. And once it does get fixed, we are going to see the Pete Alonso that we are used to seeing. Whether you believe it or not, and a lot of folks who I said this to, Pete Alonso did not have a good year. He did not have a Pete Alonso year. This guy is a 45 to 50 home run slugger. He should be, have a close to 900 OPS. His eyes, last year he was swinging at pitches 2 feet off the plate. His approach was all over the place. I think that his mechanics were off, and I think that it all stemmed from last year. And somebody showed me a video of his wrist movement. The wrist movement was all off from the year before. So, folks, I am like really confident that if the Mets want to, they can sign Alonso. And if Alonso does come back on the right contract, we're gonna see the old Pete. We're going to see the old Pete because I think it was an aberration last year. And if anybody sees any news, let me know in the chat. I'm not looking too much at X. So if anything comes out, please let me know. Okay, so I'm actually doing research. I'm trying to find what the latest info is, and just to answer the question before, so Juan Soto's decision is expected on Sunday night, according to both Andy Martino of SNY and Mike Puma of the New York Post. And now, as I read right now, so you had Bill Madden saying the Mets are going to 800 million, but now there's actually talk and speculation that that's not 100% confirmed yet, and that the Mets, if the Mets go to 800 million, the Yankees would kind of turn to a backup, their backup plans. So you know what, I really kind of think that people are kind of talking before things happen, and that's where a lot of misinformation comes in. But the decision still seems to be close to happening tonight. So I think we all gotta have to kind of stay tuned. Hey Robbie, how's it going tonight? Right now, it looks like there's going to possibly be a decision tonight about Juan Soto, possibly between the New York Mets, New York Yankees. Let me see what the betting markets, if that kind of changed in the last couple minutes. Wow. Wow, folks, this is what I mean. This is crazy. This is crazy, 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 crazy. So, like, the betting markets are going nuts. At 7 o'clock tonight, it was tied. Mets had a 38% chance of getting Juan Soto. Yankees had a 38%. As the night started to, go on, the Mets started to edge ahead. By 9 o'clock, the Mets had a slight lead. The Mets had a predicted 40% chance to get Juan Soto. The Yankees had a 37%. Then all of a sudden, the Bill Madden quote came out about Steve Cohen going to 800 million. That shot the Mets projections to get Soto up to 62% and the Yankees up to 34%. Now, in the last couple minutes, where I guess they're not sure if Cohen is absolutely going to 800, that he could, but he's not sure. Now the Mets odds have went down to 48%, but still way higher than the Yankees odds at 30%. So, I mean, I don't know who looks, if any of you look at Poly Market, but it's just so interesting. This is like people basing their prediction on the information available. So as the information available changes, and it's changing every second it's changing. Joey, funny. Yeah, you think this is the election. You know what? Poly Market, they predict more than just the election. They predict a lot of events. And you know what? A lot of smart people, when money's on the line, I follow the money. Follow the money. If you follow the money, people who are willing to put their money on something, they're usually willing to do so for a reason. Now the money has been changing by every single minute of the 9 o'clock hour, which is insane. But the thing that remains consistent from 9 o'clock tonight, the Mets, they've been up by at least 15 points in terms of what the prognosticators believe. So the Mets still have a very big advantage according to the betting experts. Take that, as it is. But if it's true what Madden says about the Mets potentially going to 800 million, that makes all the sense in the world. And then if it's true that if the Mets go to 800 million, the Yankees would be going to backup plans, that makes all the sense in the world as well. And here's the deal. The reason why I've been so confident the last couple of days is because I always had in the back of my mind that Cohen was going to have the highest offer, number one. And number two, there was always a ceiling for the New York Yankees. That being, they always had a cap. They always had a number that, hey, this is going to be our highest number and we are done. And that was believed to be around 700 million. And when Cohen went to 740 million, 730 million, I'm like, it's done. Cohen is already in the mid 700s. Today, a little doubt crept in when the Yankees supposedly upped their offer, but now Cohen seems to have continued to step up with this 800 million rumored offer. So it is what it is, but that is the updated standings as we speak. Oh, wow. You know what? This is nuts. All right, folks, I'm getting the news right now, just like you're getting the news. It's looking like the New York Mets have just acquired Juan Soto. And this is nuts, folks. This is nuts. Superstar outfielder, according to Jeff Passan, my man, and the New York Mets are in agreement on a 15-year, $765 million contract. Sources tell ESPN it is the largest deal in professional sports history. What do you know? Poly Market was right, Joey. I apologize. Joey is a Yankee fan, but what do you know? This is amazing. This is a party. I got my. Sorry, I apologize if that was loud. Folks, this is nuts. I wasn't prepared because I was a little down before, but I got balloons here. Tonight's gonna be a party. Honestly, this Jeff Passan thing, it better be right. But this is nuts. This is nuts. This is going to transform the New York Mets organization. And right now, Steve Cohen deserves all the credit in the world. All the credit in the world. Well, honestly, folks, right now I'm in a state of shock right now. I'm in the back of my mind. I'm like, do I believe this? But 4 minutes ago, this is just freaking insane. And this is going to be the tip of the iceberg. We've been here for weeks now. Weeks that, the Yankees were going to swoop in. The Red Sox, he wanted Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, Pedro Martinez. Honestly, I knew that was a load of crap because why the hell was he wants to play with people who aren't even on the team? The Red Sox were out. Toronto Blue Jays, you heard they had all the money in the world. Rogers Communication, they were going to get Juan Soto. No! Steve Cohen, the billionaire, $21 billion. This is all Steve Cohen, folks. All Steve Cohen. David Stearns hasn't operated like this. But David Stearns probably said, hey, if there's one player to spend a lot of money on, it is this guy. This is about building the brand. This is about building the team for the future. And this is so freaking amazing. So freaking amazing. And Will, I don't know if you are in here, but Will is a friend of mine. He has been doubting the New York Mets. He's like, calm down. I've been saying this whole process, I had confidence in New York Mets. The New York Mets came through, and I got reports 2 days ago that the decision would be made today. It did. Everybody kind of thought my inside source was BS, but hey, I got to thank this guy. Wow, this is nuts. This is freaking nuts. Oh my God, 15 years, 765. And folks, we didn't even have to go to 800 million. We didn't have to go to 800 million. We had people in here, Scott, possibly 850 million. This is, you know what? And the Yankees offer supposedly, according to Bill Madden, was 750, 760. So that obviously can't be true unless he wanted to go to the Mets the whole time. Because if the Mets and the Yankees made the same offer, all bets were is that he was going to the New York Yankees. But wow. Oh my God. This is just nuts. Robbie, right now, they're getting Alonso. Alonso wants to be here. And you put in that lineup, Alonso, Juan Soto, Lindor, Mark Vientos, Brandon Nimmo. I mean, then we got all the young kids are coming up. I mean, this lineup is going to be dangerous. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be dangerous. Wow. Oh, man. Wow, this is so freaking phenomenal. And then, look, last night, Saturday, I put out a video. I said deal was done. I took a lot of flack, especially from Yankee fans, because, of course, he's not going to the New York Mets. The New York Mets are the little brother team. Ha, ha, ha. The New York Mets come away with one of the best players in all of baseball, a 26-year-old. Honestly, you know what? I always said he's not quite Ted Williams. All right, he's on the New York Mets. This guy is a Ted Williams-like hitter, 420 career on base percentage. This guy, in my opinion, is still getting better. He is still getting better, and he is on our New York Mets. This is going to be insane. TP Joseph, you know what? Wonder if it's all cash. The details are going to be emerging. And, that's a great question. What is going to be deferred? What is not going to be deferred? I think there are going to be a lot of these things in this contract that are going to be slanted to Juan Soto's favor. So I don't see a lot of money being deferred. I could be wrong, but, the Mets needed to get this deal done. They needed to get this deal done more than the Yankees. They needed to get this thing done more than the Red Sox, more than the Blue Jays. The bottom line is the New York Mets have to win World Series. We have to start winning the World Series. We have to start building our brand. Folks, it was extremely hard for the New York Mets to get this deal done. This was not easy. And it wasn't really meant to be easy. But the reason why is because the Mets they're not known for that culture of winning. They don't have the Yankees brand. They don't have the Dodgers brand. So they have to overpay on an astronomical level. And that's what they did in this instance. But this is the first guy. Now the next guy, you don't have to overpay as much. You don't have to jump through hoops through enough. But this is insane, folks. I don't know. This is not setting in yet, but this is insane. Stoney, how's it going, my man? This is crazy, right? This is crazy. I still keep clicking back on the report because I'm like, is it real? Is this a fake Jeff Passan account? But it's just I believed it was going to happen. It's just I can't believe it's right now. I can't believe throughout this whole process on this channel, we followed all the clues. We followed all the clues and everything that made sense. We reported, and everything in these last 2 days came true. Said it was going to happen on Sunday, came through on Sunday. Yesterday, said there was a report that the New York Mets were going to get this done. They got it done. I just can't believe everything came together. We got our guy. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Get not missing out on Juan Soto. That would have been a big swing and a miss. That would have been a huge swing and a miss. I'm so happy we got this guy. So happy. Yes, Stoney, you just woke up now. I woke up 2 hours ago, and I looked at X, and I'm looking at all these comments that Yankees signed Juan Soto, 16 years, $730 million. I actually thought he was signed, but then when I went to Jeff Passan, when I went to Andy Martino, when I went to all the reputable reporters, it wasn't official. And then my wife's like, it's not official. He didn't go to the Yankees, but you woke up to great news. You woke up to the actual real report. Jason Padilla. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we did get Mr. Juan Soto, and this is phenomenal. This is freaking phenomenal. I can't even believe it. I cannot believe it. Honestly, the thing is, there were so many like Yankee fans who kind of like gave us a lot of trouble. Gave us a lot of trouble, but every Yankee fan, I don't know why, but every single damn Yankee fan was so confident that they were not going to the Mets, that Juan Soto was not going to the Mets, and no matter what, he was signing with the New York Yankees. So, I mean, all the Yankee fans out there, honestly, they can't be feeling good right now, but the blind confidence never made sense to me. Never made sense. But I also, if you think about this, the Steve Cohen and the New York Mets have been planning this for years, just like the Dodgers in 2022 when they weren't spending a lot of money. They were planning to sign Ohtani. Last year, when we were signing Severino, signing Manaea, and everybody's like, oh, you got to sign Montgomery. Oh, you got to sign Snell. Lock them up long term. Oh, Matt Chapman, he would look good at third base. No, the New York Mets was saving every last dime to go for this man. This was the plan. This wasn't just like, oh, Soto's a free agent. He's good. Let's go after him. This was a concerted effort from years ago when they traded away Verlander, when they traded away Scherzer. I believe it was all because we were highlighting 2025 and we were going to do everything, move heaven and earth to secure the services of Juan Soto. And deep down inside, even though Juan Soto's getting the most money, I always felt he loved Citi Field. Always spoke nicely about Citi Field, always spoke highly about New York City, never looked happy, in my opinion, when he was in the press conference. After the World Series, when he got knocked out, never looked happy. He wanted, in my opinion, he wanted to come to Queens the whole time. Yeah, Music Man. Honestly, in the last 2-3 weeks, I did very limited content on Soto because I wanted to put out the most accurate information as possible. And these reporters took us all over the place. If 3 days ago, if you were looking at all the reporters, you would have thought he was going to Fenway. You would have thought that he was going to the Red Sox. You would have thought, like I said, a week ago, he was going to Toronto. In fact, last Monday, they said the Toronto Blue Jays, no matter what, are going to be the high bid. That's what the info was last Monday. And then if you look at, I forgot his name, Randy Myers, he was on WFAN. He said the Yankees' high bid was $550 million. There was so much false information throughout the Soto process. All the reporters should be ashamed of themselves, should be ashamed. That's why, a guy like Jeff Passan waited until everything was secure, then report the actual news. Oh yeah, the floodgates are going to open right now. Floodgates are going to open, and I believe the sources that I got from a couple of days ago didn't let me down. They said a decision was going to happen today. Also, floodgates are going to open. Last night, obviously, Adames already signed. Conforto signed today. Not that he was a big free agent, not anymore. But the floodgates are going to open. I think there's going to be a lot of money in the market. A lot of money in the market, folks. Red Sox had a lot of money to play with. Toronto has a lot of money to play with. Dodgers have a lot of money to play with. There is a lot of money to play with. You got a lot of top echelon pitchers: Max Fried, Corbin Burns, Jack Flaherty. There are a lot of guys right now in the next couple of days. Those guys are going to look to sign while the money is hot. Look for guys to sign in the next couple of days. This is what always happens. After a big free agent signing, teams are ready to, because of the fan bases, because they're ready to dole out money. There will be more big contracts dealt out in the next couple of days. Get ready. Get ready. And I wouldn't be surprised if Pete Alonso is one of them. But two of those pitchers, I believe 2 or 3 of those pitchers are going to go. Definitely one of those guys is going to go. Corbin Burns, Max Fried. One of those pitchers is going to take advantage of a huge contract offer because, folks, that's what always happens when these teams swing and miss, like the Red Sox, like the Blue Jays, like the Yankees. And I was kind of thinking about this too. Yankees, they made this big trade last year, right? And now they got egg on their face. Let's be honest, folks. Yankees have egg on their face. That's the reason why they went to $710 million or $720 million. They needed to sign Juan Soto. They needed to sign. They gave up Michael King. They gave up Drew Thorpe. They gave a bunch of other players, right? Drew Thorpe turned into Dylan Cease. Imagine the New York Yankees last year in their rotation having Michael King and Dylan Cease. Imagine they traded Drew Thorpe and they got Dylan Cease and they had those 2 extra starters plus the other chips that they sent. I mean, the Yankees gave up a lot, folks. They gave up a lot. Now they are without all those pitchers and they are without the services of Mr. Juan Soto. The Mets, on the other hand, went almost 2 games short of the World Series. Now you add Juan Soto, who had an 8-game, he had an 8 WAR. So the 8 wins above replacement. You put another 8 wins on the New York Mets. The New York Mets, they are going to be a top team in the NL for the next decade. The next decade, they are going to be. Now you pair Francisco Lindor with a legit co-MVP. Folks, this is going to be an amazing combination for years to come. This is going to be amazing. And this is a very good move for Steve Cohen, too. Even though he's given up $765 million, folks, he'll make that back like this. But just on the New York Mets, if I ask you this question, in 2024, did the New York Mets have higher attendance in 2024 when they won almost 90 games and they almost went to the World Series, or in 2023? You probably say in 2023 when it was, the Mets were crap, when they were crappy, they had higher attendance. But no, 2024 average capacity, I think they average around 29,000 per game. Not great. 2023, they averaged about 31, 32. Now, Juan Soto is going to put fans in the seat. He's going to sell merchandise. He's going to sell your brand around the world, internationally. This is huge, huge. Juan Soto will be the face of New York sports. New York sports. This is good. Juan Soto can be the best athlete in all of New York sports. You could probably argue right now Aaron Judge for the next 2 years, but Aaron Judge is aging. He's old. Juan Soto is the face of New York sports. That's what I say. Who is the next guy? This, and he's on the New York Mets. That is huge. That is so super, super huge. Scratch to win. Time for ticket prices to go up 35%. Well, you know what? Ticket prices probably were going to go up anyway. I'd rather pay those higher prices to see a premium product. At least Steve Cohen is going to put a premium product on the field. I pay higher prices to see a team that is good, but if they're going to raise prices and the team stinks, no, all of us appreciate, I'm pretty sure most of us will appreciate a product that is premium. Yeah, Robbie, great point. If the Mets are a winning ball club, that the fans will go. The fans will go. I would say, yeah, the biggest around 2006 to 2009, the fan attendance at probably the first year at Citi Field too. The fan attendance was crazy. You could say, Shea Stadium was closing. That's why the attendance was crazy. But also from 2006, 2007, we had a good product on the field. Carlos Beltran. When we got Pedro Martinez, the Mets started investing back in the team. And this is an example of that. A huge investment. Started a couple years ago with Lindor. Now Soto. These are guys you invest money in. You invest guys who can play 160 games a year. Lindor will play those games. Soto will play those games. The Mets, they seem to not be investing a lot of money in pitchers. Pitchers are, like I always say, high risk, and they only play in a small percentage of the overall season. Scratch to win. I'm going to bring up your point. So you said that fan attendance needs to be loyal no matter what the product on the field is. I'll tell you what, that's not going to happen. If loyalty only goes so far, it only goes so far. This is hard-earned money from people working every day. They're not going to take their hard-earned money if the team is crappy. Not going to happen. Will there be a certain portion of Met fans that no matter what, they need to see the Mets? Yes, but people work hard for their money, and they deserve a premium product. Steve Cohen, you cannot deny, is doing everything in his power to put a premium product on the field. So, Lindor, now you got add Soto to the mix, and you're gonna have a special situation at Citi Field. Funny thing is, so 7 hours ago, there was a prediction. Juan Soto predicted to re-sign with the Yankees on record-breaking 14-year deal by Matt Musico. I'm telling you, how many reports did you see that were inaccurate? Every single damn writer put out an inaccurate report. So this is the report. Superstar outfielder Juan Soto and the New York Mets are in agreement on a 15-year, $765 million contract. Sources told Jeff Passan. The deal includes, wow, look at this. This is what I was waiting for. And I said this before, 20 minutes ago. I said, I don't think the deal is going to include any deferred money. This is the answer right here. The deal includes no deferred money, sources said, and has escalators that can reach above $800 million. So that was the Bill Madden report. This, folks, those escalators are probably what helped get this deal done. Soto, of course, rejected a 1-year, $21.5 million qualifying offer from the New York Yankees on November 19th. Of course, he was making $30 million last year, and he had a chance to make $800 million all over the offseason. So that was a no-brainer. The two most sought-after free agents of this century have been A-Rod in 2000, Shohei Ohtani. Soto, despite being a below-average corner outfielder, is third on the list. The 2024 season of Soto, where he was 288 batting average, 419 on base, 569 slug. Folks, we haven't seen numbers like this ever. Have we ever had a guy on the Mets who was 420 on base, 570 slug? Probably a couple of the Piazza years, you had the upper 500. But this guy, this guy is one of the top two hitters in all of baseball. I would say every per at bat, he is the best at working the pitcher, the best. And folks, now we're going to see the Soto shuffle. That used to annoy the hell out of me, I'll tell you that. Soto turned 26 on October 25th. He's already a four-time All-Star, a four-time Silver Slugger, a batting champion, a home run derby champion, a World Series champion. His 421 career on-base percentage is tops in baseball since he debuted with the Nationals in 2018. This man, and him being 19, 20, 21, didn't matter how young he was, still the best career on base in the last 6 years. His 532 slug is 7th, and his 953 OPS, his 158 WRCP plus are 4th. And not to mention 201 home runs. This guy's going to be phenomenal, breaking every single Mets record. And that's why it would be so nice to couple him with hometown Mets, Pete Alonso. Having those guys in the lineup, Lindor, Alonso, Soto, that is going to be dynamic. His 769 career walks are the most ever for a player through his age 25 season. 99 more than Mantle, who is second on the list. Soto concluded, okay, so I'm telling you, this guy is one of the most elite hitters in all of baseball. He is going to make everybody, we always talk about, protection in the lineup. This guy is going to make everybody around him better. This is such a great move. I'm not currently processing this. I'm really not. It doesn't feel real to me. It really does not feel real to me. I don't know when it's going to set in. Probably, and I was super, super nervous at 8 o'clock. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I was really nervous. I was set to actually do a show and say, hey, you know what, folks? It is not looking good, but I didn't want to put negativity out there. I wanted to sit back, relax, wait, and, thank God I did. Scratch to win. Let me put that up. I'm putting up all your pins. Comments. Okay. Latest comment. I don't think Alonso is staying. I think Yankees are going all in for him. Well, that's yet to be seen. And I think the Yankees are going to, this is the only play I could see the Yankees going all out for. Like, literally, the Yankees, this is not how they've been playing baseball the last couple of years. The Yankees passed up on Bryce Harper. The Yankees passed up on Manny Machado. The Yankees offered Aaron Judge $200 million for his first offer. The Yankees normally do not do this, especially in the last couple of years. This was a George Steinbrenner-like attack from the Yankees. We haven't seen this approach from the Yankees in almost 2 decades. So, in that respect, I give them a little round of applause. Nice try, but there's a new sheriff in town. That guy's Steve Cohen, New York Mets. I'm telling you, and I said this in my past videos, this move is going to signify a shift. This is going to signify a shift, folks. Kids are going to grow up, see Soto, be fans of Soto, and be Mets fans. This is going to be a shift. Soto, you got on the team, marquee names, Soto, Lindor. This is going to be great. It's going to have implications for the next decades. Phenomenal move. Steve Cohen, give him all the credit in the world. And like I said, the reason why we had confidence, and a lot of our members, I got to say, had confidence. Music Man, I know you had confidence. A lot of our, members had confidence because we believe one thing: Steve Cohen would not, and it did not get outbid. Did not get outbid. And this I don't know about. So, Metro, you're right. Alonso's staying and the Mets making him the highest paid first baseman. What about if I tell you this? What about if I tell you the Mets are going to pay Pete Alonso a lot of money, but Pete Alonso is going to buy in? Pete Alonso is a hometown Met. Look at it like this. Aaron Judge bought in to the Yankees, took a little less. Now, because of what the Mets just did, because of what the New York Mets just did, I don't know if we got to pay Alonso the most. I don't know. He's a Boris client, so that might be hard to believe. But I could see Pete Alonso desperately wanting to be a part of this. Desperately. This is Pete Alonso's organization. If the Mets say, hey, here's $170, $160 million, this is it, and the Yankees offer him $200, that's something, that's a hard decision. But at the end of the day, I don't see the Yankees offering Pete Alonso $200. I just don't. I really don't. Music Man, are we dreaming? I don't know. We might. We might. I was taking a nap a couple hours ago. It kind of feels like it's a continuation of that. It might be a dream. It's not really going to set in because Mets fans, we are not used to this. We are not used to this. When was the last time in free agency? Think about this. In free agency, when was the last time the New York Mets got the number one free agent by far? Carlos Beltran? Well, and I don't even know. I forget who were the other free agents that year. But when was the last time the Mets got the best? And I'm not Lindor. He wasn't a free agent. We got him a year before he became a free agent. So there was no competition from him. The last time the Mets beat out all offers, I would, from my memory, I would have to say Carlos Beltran. But then again, I don't know. Was he the best free agent in that class? And Metro, next comment, re-sign Alonso. Offense is set. So many young guys may be great. Batty, breakout. Mauricio, proven winner. Acuna, already good. Need starting pitching badly. Honestly, that is cannot be understated. Pitching. Juan Soto's going to make everybody around you in the lineup better. Hands down, no doubt about that. Juan Soto's going to make everybody around you better. Vientos, you thought he was good last year? You got Juan Soto behind him. Going to be great, depending on how they structure the lineup. Juan Soto will have a great impact. And if you put Alonso, yes, I agree. That's probably going to be it for the offense. Probably going to be it. We might get like another fourth or fifth outfielder, but we have to invest all our resources in upping the talent on our pitching. Starting pitchers, Clay Holmes, nice move. Not a great move. Nice move. We need a couple moves that have that great impact. So, we absolutely, if and this is where I pose this. Now that we got Juan Soto, would we be willing to package some young prospects for a Garrett Crochet? That meaning Jet Williams. Would we look at some of guys like that and say, hey, I'm willing to give 2 or 3 young position players up for a top player like Garrett Crochet? Those are going to have to be questions that, David Stearns and the front office go over quickly. And also, they have to assess where the market is. Like last year, for example, this was the best move of the offseason, in my opinion. Forget about Ohtani. Forget about Yamamoto. The best move, in my opinion, was when the Braves traded for Chris Sale. Chris Sale. They made the Red Sox eat half of the contract, and I forgot who did they give? Vaughn Grissom. Vaughn Grissom, a 22-year-old mediocre guy in my opinion, and they got Chris Sale, the Cy Young Award winner. And not only did they get it for 2024, they got it for next year too. That was the type of creativity that the New York Mets and David Stearns has to find a way to make moves like that. We gotta fix something. Sorry about that. I had to update some of the info on the video. I didn't realize that. I didn't update that the New York Mets actually signed Juan Soto. So I had to update that. Apologize about that. But how are we all feeling right now? Is it setting in? Are we setting in that we're gonna have one of the best sluggers in all of baseball? Probably, the best natural hitter, in my opinion. I mean, the guy's only 26 years old. We are going to have a pretty big window where we have some elite players on our team. Spiros, and this was a huge power move. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I agree that Cohen, this whole time, I believe Cohen from years back, set his eyes on signing Juan Soto. They looked at every year, 2023, who are the free agents, 2024, who are the free agent, 2025, who are the free agent. This was the guy, maybe in this whole decade, was the best guy that they could sign. The best guy. Like other guys, there are a lot of other up-and-coming superstars who already signed or could sign to long-term deals. This was one of the few guys at that elite level who was and is available. And when the Mets didn't go after Aaron Judge a few short years ago, that also kind of solidified in my mind. All right, you know what? Juan Soto is a guy that we will make a mega run after. And the Dodgers too. The Dodgers actually really kind of shocked me. They made an offer of in the mid 600s. I mean, that was scary. Like if this thing, got to, if the bidding wasn't so crazy, I mean, the Dodgers, they were damn serious about getting Juan Soto. I mean, who knows? Maybe their deal included all their deferrals and Juan Soto didn't want that. But, that's actually insane to think of, that the Dodgers went even that far into the $600 million range. Hey, Maria, hello. Yeah, you know what? I like it. Yes, let's go up and Manaya and Alonso next. You know what? I agree. You want guys, in my opinion, who have been successful in New York, right? It is a couple of things you look for. Obviously you look for talented players, right? You look for guys with good stuff, guys who are talented. Then you look for guys, do you think they can be successful in New York? Do they have the mental makeup? Number two. And number three, guys who have been successful in the postseason, guys who are true winners. That's why a guy like Walker Buehler always liked him. Very successful in the playoffs. Manaya last year, great guy, played well in New York, got better, had his best career year. He's a guy I'd invest in. I feel comfortable. I mean, long-term contract, maybe not, but I'd give him a good payday 3-year contract. A 3-year contract, it looks like you're going to have to pay him close to $30 million. If Severino got $23 million a year, if you're looking for Manaya, it looks like he's going to be demanding a pretty penny. So we got to see. But Alonso has been successful in New York, number one. Alonso, when the season was on the line, this is what I loved Alonso. Alonso was the reason why we went to almost the World Series, why we went to the NLCS. Alonso came up clutch when we needed him the most. And, I expect Alonso to get better, but I certainly like those two moves because of the fact, as I said, successful in New York, talented guys, and they were successful in the playoffs. Richard, yes. Yeah, I love it. Everybody trickling in here. Richard, thank you so much. I mean, like literally, Richard, I think you were one of the guys who were pretty confident that the Mets would sign him. And a lot of people were, because at the end of the day, Cohen had the most money out of anyone. And I wonder how this affects baseball in the future. Does the market continue to skyrocket? Or like a couple years ago, if we all remember, when Bryce Harper was a free agent, when Manny Machado was a free agent, the big teams, the Red Sox, reset. The Yankees kind of reset. Is there going to be a reset? Are teams going to not spend in the next couple of years? Or is this going to trigger a frenzy in the next couple of years? I don't know. I'm interested to see what the market bears. I'm interested to see how teams react and how with the trajectory of these contracts go. But guy like Boris has got to love this, because this is a record. This is a record for him, and it's also a mark for other players. So it was obviously going to be a massive overpay. If we paid him $600 million, it was probably going to be an overpay. The guy's a great hitter. He hasn't been known to be that two-way player, right? But he has such a dynamic effect on the offensive side, like nobody else. So, he does overcome some of those defensive deficiencies. Now, you say it's only been a few teams spending. Actually, a lot of teams. I mean, you had the New York Mets, the New York Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, the Toronto Blue Jays, the LA Dodgers. Then you had other teams that were willing to pay, but not as much. You had teams like the Phillies. The Phillies, they were willing to pay in the $500 to $600 million range, supposedly. And then you had other teams like the Giants, the Padres, they weren't that high, but you had about 8 teams, 12 teams initially interested, 8 teams that were willing to pay a significant amount, and then you had 5 teams willing to pay a crazy, extraordinary amount, and then you had 2 teams, the Mets and the Yankees, supposedly willing to pay an insane amount. But that's what it takes to get the deal done, and the Mets wanted to go that far. And I can't fault them. I cannot fault them because even if the Mets make this move, right, they shed $180 million this year. Thinking about this very quickly. Let me see how much he's getting per year. 765. Okay, so $51 million a year, right? So let's average it out to $50 million. Montas is getting 17 million, so that's 67 right there. Holmes, he's getting about 13, 14 million. So the Mets right now on big free agents, they've made some small moves. They've spent between 80 to $85 million already, right? Already. They filled up a couple pitching spots. They got their big hitter. And supposedly, compared to last year, since they shed about $180 million, they still have $100 million to play with. Right? They have $100 million to play with. They don't have to get to that high of a payroll, but it really shows you how good of a financial position the New York Mets put themselves with. And what have they invested in themselves long term? They invested in Lindor, looking like a good contract. Soto, he's a great player. So Soto, Lindor, 2 very productive players. And then you got Nimmo on a very productive $20 million a year contract for the next 6 years. So at least the guys that they've invested in, put their money in, seem to they seem like they're going to be very productive on the field. So, Richard, you're right. If they are spending this type of money for him, they better fill all the other holes. And this is what I said before, and I've been saying this for weeks. Before they signed Soto, I said one of the reasons why I wanted them to sign Soto is because, number one, Soto was plan A, folks. This is plan A, folks. Finally, we get to execute plan A, not plan B, not plan C, not plan D, not plan E, plan A, right? So you go down plan A. So plan A, sign Soto, right? If you sign Soto, that's going to force your aggression, in my opinion, to go up. Just like last year, the Yankees got Soto. They were all in it. They got Jazz Chisholm at the trade deadline. This is going to force the New York Mets, I feel, to be all in. All in. Lindor is in his prime. I feel they're going to get Alonso. I feel they are going to get 2 more good pitchers and 1 or 2 more bullpen arms. I think we're going to see a team right now we can be proud of, that a premium product, and this is going to force the team. You are absolutely, Richard, you are right. They cannot just get Juan Soto, sit on their hands, and say, oh, we're done. I don't think that's going to happen. Steve Cohen wants a World Series, and he wants it now. Scott, I can't sleep now. I'm stoked. The hot stove is cooking this year. Winter meetings should be interesting. Well, you know what? We know it's going to be the talk of the winter meetings. Last year it was Ohtani. This year is going to be the New York Mets. This is the hot team. This is the new, like I said, we got a new sheriff in town. Yankees old. And you know what? Juan Soto said throughout this process, I was saying New York Mets made the sense for all the reason. But why I said it made all the sense? Because of what Juan Soto told us. Obviously, he wanted the money. We weren't going to provide the money. But all the other things that Juan Soto wanted, the Mets had. I said in the beginning, through 2, 3 weeks ago, Juan Soto was upset at the New York Yankees and the relationship with Hal. Never had a relationship with Hal. Throughout this process, Steve Cohen has shown them that these two will be partners. That to Juan Soto, I feel, was a difference maker. A difference maker. So, you give Steve Cohen not only the credit for giving the money. Any owner, if they want the player, can give the money. But Steve Cohen went above and beyond to build and start to build a relationship. I guarantee you, Steve Cohen had more interaction with Juan Soto in these 3 short weeks than Hal Steinbrenner had all of last year with Juan Soto. And that's a difference. That was the difference right there. And then the extra money. Plus, how committed? He wants a team that is committed, that would run through a wall to win. Steve Cohen has shown you he will run through a wall. This was already, and I like this. Not that Clay Holmes is going to be the best pitcher. He had his struggles last year, but he also has shown to be successful in New York. This is the second player that the New York Mets kind of poached from the New York Yankees. Kind of poached. So, if you're a Yankees fan right now, this whole process, I haven't been killing Yankee fans because I know how it feels. Even though they kind of trashed us, I'm just not going to go there. I'm not going to go there tonight. But it is what it is. It's a tough situation if you're a Yankees fan. It's a tough situation. I said last year the New York Mets were in better position. It's showing you why the Mets are in better situation. They were better prepared to get Juan Soto this year. Juan Soto was, intelligent. He's an intelligent guy, smart enough to recognize that. Yep, music man. That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. The Mets right now, look, based on the salary that they shed last year, have about $100 million left. If you went to the Yankees would have this much left. This much left. And that's another big factor. Another big factor. If the Yankees got Juan Soto, there would be very little that they could do to improve their team. The Mets, with their flexibility, they were able to make moves. Sign Montaz, sign Clay Holmes, make a Jose Siri trade, get a couple tertiary players, get a couple good bullpen options. Not great, but potentially good if these players are developed. Yankees have been doing nothing because of the payroll situation that they're in. Now they got to really start from scratch. And I don't think, and I've heard it already starting, Pete Alonso to the Bronx. I don't think they're going to turn to Pete Alonso. I really don't. I could be wrong. But the next situation, does Hal want to get into another bidding war with Steve Cohen? I think he's going to want to avoid that. He's already got egg on his face. He's already got to deal with one loss to Steve Cohen. Do you think he wants to lose to Steve Cohen again? And Steve Cohen, another thing, Steve Cohen didn't go after Aaron Judge, the homegrown player of the Yankees. I don't think that, maybe just out of respect, he doesn't go after Alonso. So there's a couple of reasons why I don't see him going after Alonso. Plus, and it might be because the Yankees went all in after Soto. Yankees have expressed zero interest in Alonso. Zero. The Mets, throughout this process, still pursuing Juan Soto, still have been communicating with Pete Alonso. The latest thing they told Pete Alonso was they're going to make an offer to him, but they told him, go out there, get the best offer, bring it back to us, and we'll see what we can do. So there has been an open dialogue. And I think that's very important to always keep that open dialogue. Wow, if you look at X right now, X is crazy. X is crazy right now. So somebody wrote, breaking news, Elon Musk changed the like button for celebrated superstar outfielder Juan Soto, and the New York Mets are in agreement on the 15-year deal. All right, so that's interesting. Many people now are saying that Queens is the new Bronx, that, Steve Cohen, he's the new, like I said, the new sheriff in town. So Juan Soto, largest contracts in MLB history. Juan Soto, 765 million. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani, 700 million. Mike Trout, 426 million. Mookie Betts, 365 million. Aaron Judge, 360. Machado, 350. Lindor is number 7 on the list. But it's so interesting in the last 2 years specifically how the high mark of Mike Trout, 426 million, was doubled, essentially doubled. Well, not doubled, but almost doubled. But, last year at Shohei Ohtani, he got that money. That was really incentive for Boris to beat that contract. Donovan Mitchell posted, he got his wish. Let's go Mets. Gotta love Donovan Mitchell, especially if you're a Cavs fan. Yeah, I'm just trying to find details about the contract. We know it's a 15-year contract, 765 million. It can go up to 800 million with escalators. I'm pretty sure details are going to come out about that shortly. No deferred money. That is huge news. We basically assumed that earlier. There's an opt out after the 5th year. So he's 26. There's going to be an opt out after he's 31. And he's getting a $75 million signing bonus. Insane. Insane, insane, insane. Let me see if there's any more details. Wow. I find relationship with athletes so interesting. So apparently, Juan Soto's monster contract with the New York Mets has many across the Big Apple celebrating. Donovan Mitchell, like I said, was very, very, very excited. So he basically FaceTime with Juan Soto. So there's a picture of Donovan Mitchell and Juan Soto FaceTiming after the huge contract. I love it. I love it. I mean, Mitchell's not, he didn't come to New York Knicks, but he's been a New York Mets fan. So, I love the support. Oh wow. Okay. So I'm just trying to get as much information because everybody's talking about the escalators. I'm trying to see what the heck this contract is all about. So I'm looking at this other thing. So after 2029, if the Mets don't at the time raise the contract to 805 million by increasing the average annual value by 4 million annually, Soto will get a 75 million signing bonus payable upon the deal's approval by the commissioner's office. All right, that's interesting. So okay, so I'm looking at it. So he has an opt out after the 5th year, but it's conditional. It seems like he would only have the right to opt out if the Mets don't give him a $4 million annual raise. So that means he would go from $51 million a year to $55 million a year. So I mean, essentially, if it's a conditional opt out, if the Mets give him that $4 million raise, and I may be reading this incorrectly, then he can opt out. But again, I could be misreading that, and it seems like everything I read is little shaky. Oh yeah, music man, great comment. If the Dodgers got Soto, I don't want to say it would have been over for baseball, but it would have been. I think that would have been too much. That would have been too much. When they got Blake Snell, I'm like, all right, good for them. They won the World Series. They're being aggressive. But if you need Mookie Betts, if you need Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto, Blake Snell, then they got Glass now and all the pitchers they got, and you need Juan Soto on top of that, then it makes winning the World Series less impactful. Then you're expected to win at such a high level where winning the World Series means nothing. And at the end of the day, I said a couple of reasons I didn't think the Dodgers were going to take or be in it because number one, I didn't think they were going to be the high bidder. It made no sense for the Dodgers to be the high bidder. And number two, legacy wise, if Juan Soto won with the LA Dodgers, what the hell would that mean? You're supposed to win if you have a super team. So I feel that going to Queens provided Juan Soto with everything he could possibly imagine or dream of. Oh wow. Okay, so I'm looking at another article. It's saying winners and losers of the Juan Soto situation, the Juan Soto saga. So there's winners and losers of every situation. All right, so the first winner obviously is Juan Soto, $765 million, got a mega contract. Second winner, Scott Boras. Scott Boras, you love him or you hate him. If you're a player, you gotta love Scott Boras. If you're a fan, and if you're a fan of a team who doesn't get the player, you gotta hate Scott Boras. You're gonna think he's ruining baseball, but he does whatever he can to get the most money. Another winner, Scott Boras. But the best winner, in my opinion, is you have the New York Mets. New York Mets. Soto's presence near the top of the Mets order will create more run-scoring chances in multiple respects. He's quite capable of plating himself by launching 30-plus home runs. There's also cascading effects, like I mentioned earlier. He's going to make everybody around him better. He's going to create constant pressure on the pitcher throughout the entire game. You don't need to look any further, folks. Look what Juan Soto did to the Yankees and that lineup. All the Yankees essentially needed was Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. And Aaron Judge wasn't even productive in the playoffs. You had Juan Soto phenomenally productive in the playoffs, and he already had that one World Series. So Soto doesn't care about the situation, doesn't care about the moment. He is a player who will be productive nonetheless. Okay, another winner, Steve Cohen, the man, the myth, the legend. Steve Cohen, poetic justice, got his man. Like, think about this. Imagine the Wilpons were owning this team. This would be a dream, folks. This would be just a dream. And how would it feel in our bellies when Juan Soto signed that mega deal with the Bronx? And if Steve Cohen wasn't around, basically the Wilpons were, not only would he go to the Bronx, but he'd probably go to the Bronx for like $350 million. I mean, look what Steve Cohen's done to the game in that respect, but that's besides the point. All right, number one loser, and no doubt about it, and this is the worst, I'm going to kill them. Just facts are facts. The New York Yankees. There's no replacing Soto, no free agent, no realistic trade candidate comes close. The question for the Yankees now is just how did they improve several parts of their lineup in an attempt to replace Soto? To that, we say, good luck. Good luck. Brian Cashman, he's done a decent job throughout his career. He'll do what he can to salvage the next couple months. That could mean trading for a guy like Cody Bellinger, could mean signing a guy like Alex Bregman, could mean a number of things, but there's no replacing Juan Soto, and that is why he was so important for the New York Mets to secure. All right, another loser. Loser number two, Hal Steinbrenner. Let's face it, losing Soto to the Mets looks horrible. And this is why I don't think he's going to try it with Alonso. I don't think he wants to lose twice to Steve Cohen. The Yankees stay true to their usual playbook when it comes to top-tier free agent. They let Soto reach the open market, made competitive offers, hoping that the interior and power of the pinstripes would do the rest. To be fair, that's usually enough in some instances. With Judge, it was enough. The most recent notable in his prime free agents to leave was Yankees Robinson Cano, whom the New York didn't seem to pull out all the stops. Unfortunately, Steinbrenner in the Yankees, it wasn't good enough for Soto. We'll see how the remainder of the offseason turns out. The Yankees will redirect some of the funds earmarked to Soto as it stands. But you know what? If you're Hal Steinbrenner, this is a bad look. You're going to have egg on your face. Now, this contract looks to have many. You know what? It's so funny. I got to read this to you folks. Let me see if I can find it. Like I got to give credit to the guy who gave me the heads up about the contract being, the signing being stated today, because the number one thing that he told me is that it's going to be a very creative contract. Very creative contract. And it looks like this contract is so damn creative with the escalators and the conditional opt out after 5 years. We're going to learn a lot more about this contract, but at the end of the day, we know that we have him for at least the next 5 years, most likely the next 15 years. Let's be real. I don't see the Mets not giving him an extra $4 million a year. Robbie, great question. Great question. How will the crowd react when Soto bats as a Met in the Yankee Stadium? And my direct answer to that is, who the hell cares? Who the hell cares? They're not going to like him. They're going to hate him. But they knew when they got Soto, he was going to go to the guy with the most money, to the team with the most money. It was known. It was known. If the Yankees thought throughout the year that they could, hey, Juan Soto, Scott Boras, here's $500 million, sign it. It was never going to happen. Never going to happen. He never signed a deal with the Nationals. Number one, the Padres knew he didn't sign with the Nationals, right? The Nationals traded him to the Padres. Padres couldn't sign him, traded him to the Yankees. This guy was never, ever going to sign before being a free agent, especially in his last year. Silly. The Yankees were always going to compete against Steve Cohen. And then when Shohei Ohtani signed that $700 million contract last year, you knew Scott Boras was going to test that level. You knew. So the Yankees, kill him because they kind of deserve to kind of be killed. They kind of deserve. And I know people will say, oh, $700 million is $700 million. You didn't get the job done. You didn't get the job done. You did not get the job done. Now, if you would have matched the Steve Cohen offer, I think there was a possibility he would go to the Yankees. That's why I was nervous today. I was nervous because I heard Yankees are going to 730. Yankees are going to 750. Yankees are going to 760. But, the Mets were creative, number one. They were more aggressive, number two. And number three, they showed the New York Yankees, no matter what you do, we will offer more money. So, I mean, that's what I love. Oh, my God. This is what I love to see. Raul, already's got the world champs. 2025 World Series. Honestly, we're going to, Raul, I'm going to do a video about that soon. World Series. But, oh, my God. And, I drop my mouse. Whoops. But Raul, yeah, I love it. And this is why it's so awesome, because now we can actually dream, because it's going to be a reality. We're going to have, we're building a mega team. We are building a mega team. Like, you got superstars in the team. You bring Alonso back. You got Lindor. You got Vientos. You got Soto. You got Nimmo. You got a couple other young up-and-coming guys. Mauricio, hopefully he does what I think he will be. I got a lot of confidence in him. Then, Stearns gets creative. Stearns will get creative. People, it's so funny here. This show could have went two different ways. We could have went, all right, which way are the New York Mets going to go if they weren't signed? Let me give you this one bit of nugget. And this is not what I wanted, obviously, but my one player that I would have said if the Mets didn't sign Juan Soto, there would have been no way to replace him. But the one guy that would have been of interest would be a guy like Brent Rooker. That would have been the guy. Not that he could replace Juan Soto, but 29-year-old outfielder from the A's, that could have been an option. It would have been tough because we would have had to give up capital, trade prospects, but that was, one of the guys. I'm like, I have a whole list of guys here, but that was one of the guys. I'm like, okay, maybe we have to aggressively pursue a guy like that if we didn't get Juan Soto. But thank God we don't have to think about that, because we have Juan Soto in the fold for at least the next half decade. And then, depending on the conditional opt-out, it seems like it won't kick in if we give him the extra $4 million a year. And what the hell is $4 million? So I see this man, Juan Soto, in the New York Mets uniform for the next 15 years. Insane. Robbie, karma, it's a bitch. Um, you know what? If you're a Yankee fan, you were ultra confident that he was going to the Yankees. And I heard a lot of not nice things said about the New York Mets organization. So supposed loser organization that just beat you out. So, I don't want to hear that anymore unless the loser organization is going to beat you over and over and over again. I mean, if you want to play it like that, but there's no two ways about it. Yankees lost. Yankees lost this. Hal Steinbrenner lost this, and they lost this straight up to the New York Mets, new kings of New York City. And I said this before. I'm going to be consistent. This is going to be the turning point. Their turning point. And we have to pay up a little more for the first big guy to go there. And maybe you could say Lindor was the big guy. But, you want that premium bat. And, Lindor was a good bat. He's a good bat. But he's a premium player because he's good with his glove and he's good with his bat. But now you actually have a premium bat, a guy who can have 1,000 OPS, a guy who would slug, close to 600, a guy with an on-base percentage over 400. This guy could put up MVP numbers every single damn year. So now this guy is going to be plugged in the middle of your lineup. I anticipate him. He'll probably be batting 2. Probably. That's what a lot of these teams have. Now you're going to have Lindor batting leadoff. You're going to have Soto batting 2. They're probably going to have Vientos batting 3. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. Alonso 4. But we'll actually probably have Nimmo. Maybe you have Nimmo. That's lefty. See, whatever. You could bat Nimmo 5th. You could bat Nimmo 4th. But these are good problems to have. That's a good point. Red Sox is sort of relieved. Soto is not in the American League. Yankees, not a total loss. The funny thing is the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, everybody was saying, okay, if he doesn't go to the Yankees, if he's not going to the Yankees, I want him to go to the Mets. Like the Blue Jays fans wanted him to go to the Mets. The Red Sox fans wanted him to go to the Mets. If not going there, but the Mets, this was such a process. It was such a damn process, and it just feels so good that now we can envision Juan Soto on our team. Like now we can follow the Soto situation. It was such a letdown last year. I don't know if everybody remembers the Ohtani situation. Ohtani, I wanted Ohtani for several reasons. I know he didn't want to come to New York. He wanted LA the whole time. But I wanted Steve Cohen to make that mega offer because I knew what Ohtani brought on the field. But I also knew what Ohtani brought off the field, which is a whole market. What he would do for branding, what he would do for the team. I know what type of player he was. So I wanted, Cohen to kind of overpay. Didn't overpay. All right. So last year we lost Ohtani, Yamamoto. Again, that was rough. Ohtani goes to the LA Dodgers. That made them more likely to get a guy like Yamamoto. That was a big loss. Felt bad. We went a different route. That caused us to go to our plan C and our plan D of last year. But at the end of the day, we still had a successful year last year. And we were building towards this moment. We didn't put a lot of money on the books. We didn't have stupid contracts. A lot of the contracts fell off this year. This was all about preparation. If we didn't have the proper preparation, if we didn't take steps last year, I don't think this moment happens. I really don't. There was a situation where Steve Cohen could have done everything in terms of giving all the money. But if we didn't show progress, if the team never got better, if we didn't manage our payroll the right way, there could have been a situation where we just didn't put ourselves in position to secure a guy like Soto. So you got to give everybody credit, from Stearns to the front office who was there before Stearns. There were guys in place before Stearns who made moves. So the whole organization deserves a whole bit of credit Fans deserve credit. Fans never gave up hope. Fans were great at motivating Steve Cohen, great at motivating everybody. So, everybody, yeah, we deserve credit too. Why not? Why not take credit at this point? Robbie, Braves, Phillies jumping off the bridge right now. And honestly, the team that is really more upset right now, if I had to pick which team's more upset, the Braves or the Phillies, hands down, the Phillies, right? The Phillies. Braves, they're kind of like the Yankees. They're very cocky. Oh, yeah, we could always beat the Mets. The Mets, yeah, when the Mets come to Atlanta, they're going to just play bad because they're the Mets. But the Phillies only won 2 championships in like over 100 years. So they're worse than us, number one. Number two, we beat them last year without Soto. Without Soto. Now you add Soto and you add all the other moves we're going to make. And we're going to, the Phillies, they're the ones who are extremely upset. Their fans, I've heard the most, feedback about how they are not feeling great. Um, Robbie, this is the biggest deal since Piazza. I mean, what I was saying before, I was saying that this is probably the biggest deal, in my opinion. Piazza was a great deal, but a more recent deal, I would say Beltran. Beltran. And Piazza we acquired kind of like Francisco Lindor through a trade, and then we extended him. But Beltran has to be like the most similar situation. Free agent, not on our team, didn't trade from him. I would say Beltran is the most recent situation. Obviously we didn't win the World Series, but we did get a lot better after Beltran was on the team. 05, the team was shaky. 2006, 2006, we made our run. But yeah, I would say like Beltran. That was probably the most recent. Wow. Wow. I don't know if this is right, but Matt Snyder writes Yankees reportedly lose Juan Soto to the Mets over $5 million. And then he writes, but it's more complicated than that, of course. Wow, wow. Because so the New York Yankees, and this is what I was trying to find. The New York Yankees offered 16 years, 760 million. Let me see how much that. Oh, so they offered an additional year. They want the guy playing till like 42 years old. That makes sense. Um So they were trying to pay Juan Soto $47.5 million a year, $760 million over 16 years. So the Yankees offered an extra year. The Mets differential is they offered that $765 million contract, but then they offered the $75 million signing bonus, and then they offered the escalators that could pump the deal all the way up to $800 million, which seemed to seal the deal. So at first glance, it might appear that Soto went to the Mets for an extra $5 million, but there's a lot more than that. First up, it's unclear if the Yankees offered a signing bonus of the level of the Mets. Getting $75 million up front with no deferrals seems like a coup for a 26-year-old, as that money is the most valuable right now. The Yankees offered a 16th year Providing more job security means a touch less money per season. It's about $4 million less. Why have to play an extra year just to get the full amount of the contract when the Mets will have already paid him through his 15th year and at $5 million more, and then plus the escalators? And of course, there are the escalators, also known as incentives. Players are supremely confident beings, and there's little doubt in Soto's head that he's going to be amazing for 15 years and will hit every marker he needs to hit in order to earn those incentives, whatever they may be. We're going to learn about that to come. This means in the end, Soto could be looking at an $800 million contract over 15 years with the $75 million signing bonus versus $760 million from the Yankees over 16 years without a bonus. Wow. I would have thought that the Yankees would have included like more bonuses if they didn't want to get to that number. We can't know everything what's running around in Soto's head, but in terms of money, the Mets had a better offer, point blank. It might not have been a blowout offer, but there was a bit more separation than just simply $5 million at first glance. Okay, so that's very important. So you're going to see on the surface that the Mets offered 15 years, $765 million. So 15, 765, and the Yankees offered 16 years, 760. So even on face value, the Mets offers $5 million more, but there's an extra year he has to play. But if you break it down even more, the Mets offered a crazy $75 million signing bonus, and they offered incentives to get to $800 million over that 15 years. So, I mean, just right there, it's really, it seems close, but it's not as close as one would think. All right, folks. It looks like I basically covered everything. It's been a great night. It's been a phenomenal night. I'm surprised that I thought it was going to go really late. I'm happy that we got the news about a little over an hour ago that historically the Mets have made. Oh my God, it's still not processing yet, but we're going to be on top of the winter meetings. The Mets are going to be ultra aggressive, in my opinion. This has been amazing. This has been simply amazing. Thank you all. I appreciate everything, all the videos, the comments, the likes, the new subscribers. I appreciate everything. This is just the beginning of a very fun ride. If you're a New York Mets fan, congratulations to all the New York Mets fans. I want to say congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. Hopefully you all have a great night, and I will speak to everyone very, very soon, and have a great one.